Welcome to another daily roundup of Russian Telegram chatter. Your like and subscribe to my channel would really be appreciated. Subscription is free and it only takes a moment of your time. I monitor and translate Russian Telegram chat channels as a general mood check, so you don't have to. Remember, please do your own research and be wary of propaganda and disinformation, which occurs frequently in Russian chat, especially when there is bad news for Russians concerning the country's illegal and genocidal war in Ukraine. The images used in the video are for illustration purposes only. They do not necessarily represent the issues or translations. And finally, please note, the chat is unverified and I do not endorse the views expressed. Right? Let's get on with it. On Telegram today, in Yekaterinburg, after the first snowfall, snow statues of Putin shaped like penises appeared again. Last year, the authorities promised to fight such sculptures and even planned to introduce penalties. City residents launched petitions against such sculptures, and utility services initially refused to remove them. The inevitable is happening. The very same cult that always walks arm in arm with any dictatorship is brewing. The ritual kissing of Putin's bust by school teachers has already begun before class, and propaganda is abandoning nuances and switching to the North Korean style of deifying the Führer. So far this is only the beginning, a trial run, the first signs. But the cult is inevitable, because all dictatorships play to the same notes. Fortunately, it is impossible to turn away from this idiotic path. The path guarantees a steady degradation and a global tragedy in the end. No one has yet managed to stay within the bounds of reason and decency. In 5 to 6 months, worship will become total, and deviators who don't kiss the bust and don't consider the dictator a deity will be punished in the most severe way. Madness will increase. All this is wonderful because it leads to nightmare and full-scale collapse. Iraqi authorities are planning to lower the age of consent for girls from 18 to 9. They want to make such an amendment to the personal status law, which will allow adult men to marry children. This is a great idea for peasant Russians to cure the birth rate decline, although it does result in inbreeding too, which happens anyway. In Afghanistan, women will also be stripped of their rights to divorce child custody and inheritance. The ruling coalition said the changes were in line with Islamic law and would protect girls from immoral relationships. Another great idea for the Russian Empire, perhaps. The Kremlin has announced plans to create an independent financial system for settlements with African countries. In 2023, Africa became a more significant export destination for Russia than North and South America. According to the Federal Tax Service, Russian exports to Africa, in value terms, increased by 43% to $21.2 billion. Russia has created a network of propaganda centers for Russian-speaking children in Spain. Children of Russians living in Spain have been sending letters and parcels to Russian soldiers at the front for 2 years now, and an analogue of conversations about the important is also being held for them. The newspaper El Mundo found out. This work is coordinated by the Union of Organizations of Russian Compatriots, SORs, of Spain and Andorra, which receives funding from the Russian authorities through the embassy. Dozens of groups are involved in sending letters and parcels. Some of them call themselves educational centers, but in fact they are just classes where Russian-speaking students are subjected to ideological indoctrination, the publication notes. The publication has letters from children in the cities of Marbella and Gran Canaria. In one of the parcels, in addition to letters, there were also socks with the Z embroidery. "Hello, dear soldier. I am writing to you from sunny Spain. I am 10 years old and I love Russia very much. I wish you good luck and remember that Russia will win," one of the letters reads. Drones attacked Moscow in the morning. 22 devices were shot down. On approach to Moscow, 2 drones fell in Ramenskoye and damaged the residential sector. Due to drone attacks, Moscow airports Domodedovo and Zhukovsky are not accepting or sending flights. Rosaviatsia. The war is coming closer to the safe suburbs of Moscow. Trump's opponents have launched a 4-year cruise to escape the US during his presidency. The cruise covers 140 countries on all continents. An all-inclusive ticket for one person will cost at least $256,000 or 25 million rubles. The ship has a spa, fitness center, and high-speed internet. The ticket price also includes unlimited beer and wine. The United States has demanded that the world's largest semiconductor manufacturer, Taiwan's TSMC, stop supplying advanced chips to China. They can be used for artificial intelligence technologies, Reuters writes. The ban came weeks after TSMC itself informed the US Department of Commerce that one of its chips was found in a Huawei processor. The State Duma has proposed distributing apartments for free, but only to retired police officers. According to Deputy Slutsky, currently, employees of the Ministry of Internal Affairs have the right to a one-time social payment for the purchase of housing, but more than 87,000 people cannot receive this benefit. In this regard, the deputy proposed providing housing to everyone on the waiting list within 3 years, and from 2027 to provide guaranteed apartments. There's another scandal at Moscow State University. The most inconvenient professor has been kicked out. Evgeny Ruslanovich taught economics for more than 15 years and spoke honestly about the real state of affairs in the country. He told how banks deceive ordinary people and why mortgages right now are a direct road to slavery. On the day of dismissal, many students were hysterical. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember, the chat is unverified. I do not endorse the views expressed. Be wary of disinformation and DYOR. I monitor and translate Vatnik channels as a general mood check, so you don't have to. I do not endorse the views expressed. Be wary of disinformation and do your own research. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I also leave comments open for feedback, which I really appreciate. You can view my original posts in much more detail on Twitter. Follow me at bfeeta_fella. My research threads also include full references and sources to speed up your own research. Did you know that I also provide daily updates and deep dive research videos on a range of interesting subjects, including economics, geopolitics, sanctions circumventions, fossil fuel updates, and much more. If you are able to support me, look for the links to buy me a coffee and Patreon. I do provide links in the description of the video. I really appreciate all the support I can get towards my research, equipment, and publication costs. Thank you to those who have supported. You are simply awesome. Your regular support is really appreciated. The YouTube edition of my Russian Telegram chat translations is released every night at midnight UK time. Have a great day. I look forward to your next visit.